Now, here's George Roberts.
We're here at Paul's house at the VALOR Clinic Foundation in Jonas, Pennsylvania. And joining me is Mark Baylis. Mark is president of the foundation. Mark, great to have you here on the program.
Thanks for having me. Glad you came out.
Tell everybody a little bit about Paul's house. What exactly is this here?
It's our headquarters. We manage most of our programs out of here. The Hope for the Homeless program is one most people know us for. We do homeless outreach from here. We store all the materials we give and resources, and we run our homeless shelter here out of the second floor, and do our furniture programs up in building 3 and 4 up here, and the food pantries across the street. We crossed the 1 million meal mark we gave to veterans and their families in 2022. It's been quite the undertaking out here.
Just make sure people understand that this is a veterans organization, correct?
Yes, it is. That's our primary focus, and we have homeless programs for veterans, counseling programs for veterans, food security programs for veterans, and do VSO services for veterans. We're currently trying to train 3 more of the VSOs so we can do a little better job there, and we've been growing at a crazy rate. We helped 3,900 veterans last year, combined programs. It's been an adventure.
When did this all start here?
Here, it started on the officially started open doors. We're in business was the 12th of October 2014. We closed on the facility we bought it from the bankruptcy courts on the 16th of June 2014. That's like an infamy day for us too, because Paul Syverson, the man it's named after, was killed on the 16th of June in 2004, and the surgery that put me out of the Army was the 16th of June 2006. So it's the 16th of June is a big day for us.
Why did you do this? Why did you? Because this is sort of your brainchild, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you came up with this, right?
It's my brainchild.
Yeah.
As proof of illiteracy, right?
No, I think it's a great idea, but
you got to have humor with the realities. But I didn't go to this; it came to me, and I just couldn't turn my back on some of the stuff that I was looking at. I was running the food pantry down at the Methodist Church on Merwinsburg Road, and dealing with. I was medically retired from the Army. I broke my back in Baghdad, tore up my shoulders, ripped apart my hand. They did a good job on my hand, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell.
Looks good.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah.
But it was all interior stuff. The ligaments ripped off. I got thrown and it kind of stuck to my elbow kind of thing, and then they had to glue it back together with bubble gum. But anyway, so I get medically retired. When I get out, I'm doing all the things with the doctor's appointments and everything you still have to do when your service time's over, and I was volunteering at the food pantry down there, trying to stay busy. Right, I was going to doctors too much to get a real job, and
I guess you saw what was really happening here in the county.
I saw what was really happening,
Yeah.
and I was trying to look for the transition. How do I transition? All of a sudden, people are showing up at my house with homeless vets, like, "Hey, you got to help them," and I was completely caught off guard. I didn't know what to do with them. Almost all the men going in the food pantry line, over 30, were veterans, and a significant number of the women had either children in the service or their male partner was a veteran, and it just seemed out of place. I started taking people in the back room and asking them questions. "Hey, how'd you end up here?" Yeah. And with the answers I was getting, I started trying to help them get through that, and it just started snowballing. I started researching how to do paperwork with the VA and helping people file claims and access benefits.
That's a lot of work right there. From what I know about it,
we have a whole office at the county that just does that, right?
Yeah, and it's complicated. And you would think that they would make it a lot easier for veterans, but there's a lot involved.
Yeah, there is. It is time consuming, and things are so decentralized. You're spread all over the place where your problems happen, right? Yeah. If you make a comparison to that to like a workers' comp problem, you got hurt at work, where you live.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, all your doctors and medical things are right close. You go knock on the door. Hey, can I get copies of my records of this? Can I? And for example, a lot of my medical records were in Baghdad, right? Where who's still there?
Right.
And so you're trying to round those things up, and the people you were with, okay, you get hurt, you're rotated out early, everybody else is still there. Your potential witnesses that could do what they call a buddy statement are scattered all over the place. You have to figure out how to find them again, and oftentimes they're not even alive. So it's where do you get the proof? And the VA wants and reasonably expects proof, but it's much harder to access. Maybe there's been some improvements where the Department of Defense medical records, the VA has better access to them, which is good.
Do you think that when they come home from service, that a lot of the veterans don't even want to, think about it at that point? So maybe they don't follow up with things that they should, and then time goes by, and time is worse because now, like you said, trying to get records, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like continually realizing, hey, I've been involved with this, I should keep up with this, even if I'm not going to use it right now.
Yes, exactly. And try to convince of that hey, I'm good. Yeah, I got hurt, but it's not bad. Somebody needs it more than me. You hear that a lot. Yeah. Hey, you really want to get it in the system that you have the problem now.
Right.
And then if it evolves later and gets worse, it's much easier for you to get help with it than if you procrastinate and wait 10 years till it got worse and then try to start the process then. It's much harder. Do it when you get out, even if it's a 0 disability rating or something. Just get it on record that it happened in service is really something that they want to do. They don't always appreciate that, but I have a Vietnam vet friend that I just finally convinced since Vietnam. He's just going to do his paperwork here next week.
I guess you would encourage not only the veterans that are watching, but their families.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially
spouses. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you, and especially the spouses. I would encourage them, and the older Vietnam vets, Korea War vets, the children. Hey, encourage them, motivate them to do it.
You took me on a tour here at Paul's house at the VALOR Foundation here in Jonas, Mark, and you're showing me some of the things that you do here. Let's talk about some of the things. We were looking at some of the clothing that you collect. I guess we could start there.
Yeah. We do these. They're homeless outreach events. We call them stand downs, and we provide clothing, dry goods versions of food, and hygiene items as a rule. Some survival items, tents, sleeping bags, ground mats, but predominantly it's basic survival needs, clothing, hygiene items, and food to the homeless, in an effort to hope that we meet vets that come to the event and try to convince them to come here. And at those events, we give out about 50,000 clothing items a year.
And you ask people to drop off items, but you really need items that are usable.
Yes, absolutely.
You told me you get a lot of things here that aren't usable.
Yeah, we do. We need lightly used, clean, not torn or buttons ripped off clothing, particularly outdoor clothing. One of the hardest things for us to get is shoes. Hiking shoes are awesome. Boots in the wintertime are indispensable. Coats that are weather resistant, because the reality we can't escape is homeless means that when the weather turns bad, they're not going inside to where it's warm. They're still fending for themselves outside. We've been experimenting with some, we call them bed boxes, like a wooden tent that people can get in and secure. I'm not sure the townships all like it. And our prototypes have had varying success. Funny, some of them got washed down river, and when you get a big storm and the creeks come up, they have a tendency to go live near the water, so they need water, right?
So that's one of the things that you do as an outreach to the community,
yeah,
right?
That's one of the things we do as an outreach. We try to bring them in or connect them to other services. We do a lot of referrals to civilians that come to Street to Feet. I don't know if Street to Feet realizes that, but we do. We tell them, hey, you can go talk to these people here, and sometimes we steer even veterans to the county If there's services that some people are better at than others. We don't do a lot of college education. We don't do a lot of accessing state monies, have stipends where they can help with paying a utility or a deposit or something. We don't have funds for that, and we send them down to we refer them to the county that we're in at the time where we meet them. And so we do the best we can to be good partners and teammates. It's a complicated system to get them through. And if you have a person that's familiar with it guiding you through, it's a whole lot easier. So we encourage them to find a veteran service officer someplace. I am one if they need one.
Now this building here, Paul's house.
Yep.
You house veterans here for a time, correct?
We have our zoning allows us to have up to 13. I think we have 12 today. The whole second floor, there are 12 rooms on the second floor, and we have one empty room on the second floor, and we have one vet on the third floor. We have 12. We have room for one more if somebody knew of a homeless vet that was willing to stop drinking or doing drugs for a period of time. We'd gladly have a safe space for them while they get their life in order, while they look for more permanent housing.
While they're here, Mark, you have rules.
Yes, we do.
Also allow them to cook and things like that, correct?
Yes, we do. We provide their food. It costs them. They stay here free. I will tell you, we've had some leadership challenges with housing. The back-to-back COVID immigration issue, between the two, it has complicated. The demands for low-income housing are higher than there are units.
Right,
Clearly,
right.
I think everybody knows that.
Right.
And we've had some backed up here. We try to get them in, their affairs in order. We look to help them manage 4 things: get their health care managed. Their health problems are one of the biggest reasons they end up homeless. Help them generate an income. Sometimes that's through supportive services through the state or the VA. We prefer it to be a job. Sure. The third one is get them mobile, because if they can't get to their doctor's appointments or work, then they usually end up homeless again. And the fourth one is have them make a plan so they can lead themselves through life. We call it a life plan. We have a 10-part life plan we make with them here, where they make 3 goals in each of the 10 areas and 3 tasks moving them toward accomplish each of those goals. And then they make from those goals, they pick 3 that are their main goals, that are their priorities. Usually those involve housing or some type of employment.
So how do you heat the place here?
We heat it. We have a wood boiler over there that was donated by Mars Mobile Aggregate down there in Effort, and the local landscapers would have to pay to get rid of the downed trees and things they cut up at the local dumps, and they give them to us for free. The Lions Club helps and cuts them up and splits it, and the vets that live here load the stove and boils the hot water. It comes through heat exchangers and warms the shower water and bathroom water, and it's hot water heat, so it warms the radiators. And if the vets don't load the stove, if they don't load the stove, they're not happy.
That's right. They go cold, right?
Yeah, and
so I understand too. You know, behind us, I see these big poles, and
Yep.
Another thing you're trying to do is to bring in solar panels.
yes, we have
Tell
the
us-
solar panels.
Yeah, it's been a project though. It's
Yeah,
not going
so
too easy.
There has been some systemic resistance. We have members of different electrical unions that are willing to come install the panels, and we have the panels. We need an electrical drawing from an engineer, because they can't do the installation, and we can't file for the building permits until we have the electrical drawing. And so if anybody were to know of an electrical engineer that might draw the electrical drawing we need to submit for our building permits, so the union electricians that are willing to put the panels in for us are able to do that, we would love to have their help. Electric bills are a big part of our expenses, and we think we could save more than $1,000 a month on electric bills alone if we can get the panels in. So
That'd be great. And I understand too, you have an animal shelter back here. Why do you have that?
We had some experiences early when we were trying to decide how to do this place, and there was two big reasons why vets often refuse to go into the regular homeless shelters, and that we heard from their mouth. When I've talked to people at other shelters, they don't sound like it's as much as a problem as the vets perceived it, but the vets perceive it, and if they perceive it that way, they're not coming in. But those two things are, they weren't willing to get rid of their dogs. Mm-hmm. If they had a dog, they would rather stay outside in the snow. And we had one up in Marshall's Creek, living back behind an old abandoned hotel, that he was not coming in. And but we finally worked with them and found a way. But so we built a dog kennel here, so they never have that problem. And the township gave us zoning where we can have four runs, so that's what we built the dog kennel for, was 4 runs. And the second one was we have individual rooms, so we don't put them in buddy rooms. Some of them, the perception is that a lot of the shelters get a stipend to take prisoners released from prison, and when you're commingled in a big open room full of bunk beds, a lot of the vets don't feel safe. The vets usually aren't criminal problems. They're usually social readjustment problems and reintegration to society problems, and they don't like the outcomes. It can be prison without guards at night, and that's not always, they're not often on the positive end of that.
So Mark, tell us about Paul's house. You mentioned before who it was named after. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
It's named after Paul Syverson. Paul Syverson was killed in Balad, Iraq on the 16th of June, 2006. He was a Special Forces major at the time, and he was a friend of mine. We were colleagues, and we were in Afghanistan together and Iraq together. Yeah, he was hit with a rocket that was sent into the base. And as he was bleeding to death, he crawled over and tried to help a young private that was also wounded, and was comforting him while he bled to death there in Balad at the base in Balad, Iraq.
I see inside the building you have a little area there dedicated to him.
Yep, we have some pictures. We have some of his medals. We have some gifts that units gave him when he was assigned to them, and. We try to, I was a great guy.
This used to be the Jonas Hotel.
Absolutely.
How did you get a hold of this?
It was the bankruptcy courts had it. We were, without too much into the backdrop, we were trying to explain to local politicians about the problem. We took them on a tour, and at the end of the tour, a tour of homeless camps, sure. With homeless veterans in tow, and at the end they said, hey, find a place, let us know what you need to fix it, and we'll figure out how to fix this. And we looked at an assortment of places, and then we got told about this was the bankruptcy courts had it and were trying to sell it, but they weren't trying to sell it through MLS, so a realtor couldn't bring it up. You had to somehow go to the courts to ask about it. And yeah, we $209,000 with all the closing costs, and it was a mess. It was a mess. I fell through the floor behind the bar one day picking up the rubber mats. I was picking up the mat and stepped forward to where the mat was, and whoop.
But then you knew this was the place.
It was the place.
This is the place we need now. Now, besides this building here, you also have access to Camp Trexler.
Yep. We have a food pantry over there, and we do some events and meetings and things over there. We've done some fishing events there and things. We have a good partnership. We were the reason they bought it. This is the best you can give us for homeless. Is the Dinny Moore's. It doesn't matter which flavor. This one's chicken and dumplings, but the 20-ounce can is shorter. And when you're feeding somebody that's outside, they don't have a kitchen, so they probably don't have a can opener. They don't have a pot, and the shorter, fatter can, they can stir and keep the bottom from burning better, and they eat out of it as their bowl. When you do the taller, skinnier cans, not that they're bad, we are grateful for this too, but they have a tendency that the bottom gets burned. It's so deep they can't stir it well to the bottom, and then they eat halfway down and throw the rest away when it starts to taste burnt. And it's good that they get the nutrition of the of the top half, but we prefer that they eat the whole can.
You've been telling me that it's not easy to, run the place as far as, having enough money and things like that. So what are some of the challenges that you face, operating this facility?
Well, we are largely all our operational expenses come from grassroots fundraisers. If people don't send us $25 or $50 a month or something as an income stream, paying those electric bills, putting groceries in the equivalent of a soup kitchen we have here for the vets to eat out of, it is tough.
Anybody that's watching that is a veteran that needs just some assistance with a myriad of things.
Yep.
Right? You offer things through here.
Yes, we do. We have Walk-in Wednesday if a vet we're financially tight and had trouble buying clothes or whatever it was. They could come here and show up one day and say, "Hey, do you think you might be able to help me out? I could use some XYZ. Hey, we're having trouble getting on our feet. We just got an apartment. I moved out with my parents and I don't have any beds for my kids. Come talk to us." If you have a veteran struggling with the emotional scars of war, we have a really good program. Our suicide rate is 0 after 13 years. And call 570-369-3797. It's everything we do for the vets is free. Come talk to us. You need help with your paperwork with the VA? Please do it on a Thursday afternoon. It's easier for me then, but I will do it on another day if you need it. And come on out. Call 570-664-6468 and tell us what you need. We're here for you as best we can.